Ain't no explanation. Hello, Gregory.
Danny, how are we doing this morning?
I'm all right, man. Just finished doing karaoke for this song you're about to react to for subscriber Rusty Nails.
That's cool. Thank you for the suggestion, Rusty.
We will save all of your ears and bleeding eyes or whatever and save that for the end. So, Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard is one of the only two country singers out of the Outlaws that I know of that actually done time in prison. Johnny Cash being the other, of course. But although it was not in San Quentin, or where he sang was not Folsom Prison. That's where he did time. And both of them done over a year. Merle Haggard's got a famous song that references, I turned 21 in prison doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but Mama tried. So,
if you don't mind me asking, what was he in prison for?
well, let's look it up. All right, so Merle Haggard, at age 20, after a conviction for armed robbery, Merle was transferred to San Quentin Prison when he botched an escape attempt from Bakersfield Jail. So, yeah, Merle is not from the South. He's a California boy. Why he went to San Quentin, I'm sure. I think he did move to, like, the Midwest or something, but I don't remember. Wherever Muskogee's at is where he moved, because he's the Okie from Muskogee. So, in 1950, at the age of 18, Haggard was arrested on a burglary charge and sentenced to 15 years in San Quentin. Johnny Cash plays San Quentin State Prison January 1st, 1958. So Merle Haggard was there when Johnny Cash played. I did not know that.
Oh, wow, I had no idea.
Cool facts, man. Cool facts. I did not know that. Wow, that is so cool, man. I had no idea. Did Merle Haggard really escape from jail 17 times? Son of a... Yeah, Merle's a criminal. I'm going to say no, but I'm going to say once, but for the sake of argument. Merle is one of the country music's most famous former convicts, though most of his crimes were petty. The reason he landed in the notorious San Quentin prison was due to how many times he escaped from smaller facilities and local jails. But did he really escape 17 times? The Country History X podcast looks into blah, 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 blah. Keep on fucking promoting yourself. Good Lord. This guy in the comments says he's reading his book right now. Why won't it tell me? Anyway, I don't know. I don't think it was 17 times. Sure, Haggard escaped from California prison 17 times. Just like Tennessee Ernie loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal in a day. Yeah, so yeah, he didn't escape no 17 times. Who the hell come up with that?
All tails, man. All tails.
All right, so let's get to it. I'm sorry, but
That
that was
was
freaking interesting.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Fascinating. Little plus background information on our featured artist today. Yeah, Muskogee's a city in Oklahoma. So I guess Okie from Muskogee means he's a.
Yeah,
This
Oklahoma
just
from
means you.
Muskogee. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll get to that song soon. Mama tried, and Mama tried is, well, he wasn't telling a lie. I turned 21 in prison doing life without parole. Because life was 15 years then. So it's 20 years now. Don't ask me why they call it life. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It's 20 years. Why don't you just call it 20 years?
That does make more sense for people getting multiple life sentences if it's 20 years. But yeah, I just thought life
That's
was
why.
life.
No, that's why you can get 3 life sentences and get out of jail
Okay.
and serve them. Because life without parole means you just have to serve it the whole time. The life without the possibility of parole is when, and still you can keep whatever, man, disputing it. I've been a YouTube reactor too long. Appeal it. You can appeal it all the way up to Superior Court, and I've seen people get out of death sentences on death row for appeals. All right, I'm gonna shut the hell up. Now we're back for the 17th time.
Station identification.
17.
Yeah.
He only did it 17 times.
I wish a buck was still silver. It was back when the country was strong. Back before Elvis and before the Vietnam War came along. Before the Beatles and yesterday. When a man could still work, still would. It's the best of the free life behind us now. And are the good times really over for good? And are we rolling downhill like a snowball headed for hell? Kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. I wish a Ford and a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. It's the best of the free life behind us now. And are the good times really over for good?
Okay. Very interesting so far. The arrangement actually sounds very bleak, very ominous. It's like some acoustic guitar that's really sparse. I hear what sounds like horns in the background, and there's some really, really low, like rumbly foghorn type sounds, like really, really like feeling your teeth type sounds. That sort of give this idea of uh, coming doom, dark clouds covering the sun, um, which kind of fits with the lyrics that Merle is singing here. Uh, I'm liking his voice. It's not quite as deep as Hank's, but it seems to sit kind of low. Like all of these outlaw country fellows, they're men's men, they all have like these deep manly voices. Um, Merle is his tone is very conversational. I'm stealing more terms from the charismatic voice. That's kind of how we react here. Just, but there's I don't know how old Merle was when he recorded this, but there's a lot of life in that voice, a lot of experience, and that's something you can't learn at a vocal school. That's something that you can't teach. That's something you either have or you don't. And as as we discovered in the intro here, Merle's definitely led a very colorful life. As far as the lyrical sentiment, it almost feels like the like an old man anthem, and I don't say that in a derogatory way. It's just when things start to change, it's and you find yourself missing things that have gone by the wayside. You think, okay, it feels like everything is going in the wrong direction. Um, Denny, if you're there, if you can pipe in here, when was this recorded?
Yeah, he was not old, and the charismatic voice has never done anything like this. So
Very true.
she
Very
has no idea the vocal techniques that are going on here. He is definitely using vocal techniques. I know they're harder to hear.
Yeah.
As
like
the charismatic voice has pointed out, like you said, I'm not arguing. As the charismatic voice pointed out, as you told me, it's harder to sing this way than it is to belt and sing high. I mean, I just went through that with trying to do the cover of the Last Kiss. It's so much harder to sing lower and even than it is to just let it go. Plus when you have and I have no idea what you said. You're dealing with country people here, bleak and sparse or whatever. I don't know. Not really sure what you meant by all that, but they are horns. They're like if I'm not mistaken, Merle was in the military. Could be like a ship horn, maybe. But they are like foghorns. Don't get me wrong. And the lyrics are, they're not exactly. They're pointing out a lot of hypocrisies, and they're pointing out a lot of things that the country used to stand for that it doesn't necessarily hasn't held up over the years. I would consider them communists. So let's go back and re-listen to them. I'm not trying to tell you how to react. I'm just saying.
No, all good.
I'm just saying that the words are really really powerful, and listen to those tiny techniques. Like remember the first Alan Jackson reaction. I think you use that spoken type word in that as well, and Alan Jackson uses lots of bravado and tiny techniques that, well, I mean, when you're telling a story that is really your story, to belt it out where someone can't really, I don't want to say understand it, but you can't sing like Tool if you're telling a story. You know what I mean? Like, it just don't work.
Yeah, I do want to say that when I say speech-based or something like that, there actually are a lot of techniques that are required in order to pull that off properly. So just things like how he'll vary the amount of weight in his sound to emphasize certain words. He'll go lighter on certain words and heavier on others just for emphasis. So it's definitely a storytelling approach. It's just they said the vocal techniques are much more subtle.
All right, let me
By all means, to steal another term from Charismatic Voice, let's go back.
Wish a buck was still silver. It was back when the country was strong. Back before Elvis and before Vietnam War came along. Before the Beatles and yesterday, when a man could still work, still would. It's the best of the free life behind us now. And are the good times really over for good? And are we rolling downhill like a snowball headed for hell? With no kind of chance for the flag or the Liberty Bell. Wish a Ford and a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. It's the best of the free life behind us now. And are the good times really over for good? I wish Coke was still cola and a joint bad place to be. And it was back before Nixon lied to us all on TV. Before microwave ovens, when a girl could still cook, still would. Best of the free life behind us now. Are the good times really over for good? Are we rolling down the hill like a snowball headed for hell? With no kind of chance for the flag of Liberty Bell. I wish a Ford and a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. It's the best of the free life behind us now. Are the good times really over for good? Stop rolling downhill like...
Okay, so
Sorry, I'm not near as good with this flipping back and forth.
no, it's all good. So listening much closer to the lyrics now. A couple of the images that first of all, this, like a lot of the vintage country you've played for me, like it feels even more pertinent nowadays. Because like when he said, "Are we rolling downhill like a snowball heading for hell?" Just anybody click on the news app on your phone, look on YouTube and check the news. That snowball has reached the fiery gates. I think it's official. It's so basically what I was saying. The arrangement just sounds very sad. It sounds like something. There's a bit of uncertainty. That's what I'm looking for. Uncertainty, and that's essentially. I like how he's phrasing this as a question, not as a statement. He's not saying the good times are gone for good, the best of the free life is gone. He's saying, okay, are there? Which shows that he has hope and that he recognizes, some things, advances being made and whatnot. But on the other hand, if he was in the military in particular, like a lot of those guys go there, they're fighting for ideals that they believe in. And then when you see, for instance, the President of the United States lying on TV, as Nixon famously did. I mean, now it's just like anytime a politician opens their, like the old saying, "How can you tell when a politician is lying? Their lips move." It's now it's pretty much known. But I think back then there was a bit more hope, maybe trust. Obviously, there were movements that were pointing out the hypocrisy of these institutions. I think a lot of people wanted to hold out hope. The Nixon getting caught lying to that degree, I think that actually, made a lot of people very cynical. Excuse me, I'm rambling here, but I I just like how Merle very much sounds like he's. It's a very thoughtful song. It's very poignant, and again, I like how it leaves the future or the resolution open ended. He's basically saying, "Okay, man, I missed this. I wish a Ford and a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should." That's basically saying too much stuff is being done not for longevity, not for durability, but just for profit. Just make people come back. So the people that
Yeah,
are
when
supposed to
I
be in, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
I was gonna say this. The the wrong people are gaining far too much control over people's lives. It used to be like my sister had like a 1970 Dodge. That was her first car. That thing lasted forever, forever. Yeah, I had a friend of mine. My buddy of mine. He got a relatively modern car, and that thing was gone after like 5 years. Obviously, he didn't take very good care of it. But I think things used to be built to last, and now it seems like they're built to have people coming back for maintenance work and repairs as often as possible. It's more about profit than creating something that's durable. Um,
Yeah, like I can remember back when I was a kid, my toy trucks and my army tank, I dropped it on my toe and my toenail come off. It was so damn metal and heavy, and
mm-hmm.
I think that thing's still in a storage building somewhere. That dresser right there over there that I'm about to get rid of when you come here, I've had it since I was a boy.
Yeah.
Man, it still works. I mean, it's just old and ugly, kind of like my ex.
Yeah.
No, no, but like a light bulb, I could drop a light bulb on the carpet, even a hard carpet when I was a kid, and put it right back in. You drop one now, that filament's gone. My windshield wipers, I go all day.
Yeah.
So he's pointing out, like you said, things are consumer. They want you to consume. This is the reason why they have wars as well. I think he's pointing that out in a very poignant way. And we just discussed the Nixon thing, Now, Watergate does not bother me. Does your conscience bother you? Tell the truth. So, pointing out how you want to talk about the South should be, punished for the civil rights movement, but the North can lie to the entire public and spy on everybody, and look what that's turned into.
Exactly. Yeah.
Slavery at least went away to a certain degree. They still have slaves. They're called the chain gang.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that's why they take these prisoners and get them out of cruel and unusual punishment, which is in our Constitution that we shouldn't do to prisoners, and put them out on the road and let them work for $1 a day. It's also why we don't really mind illegal aliens coming in. I got some. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I know some, and they're good people, and they're just trying to help their families, and it's not their fault that they're allowed to do this. But I think stigmas and such, which is another thing in the song, the freedoms that are being taken away. The freedom to say what you want to say, the freedom to point out, like Trump tried to build a wall and then he was a racist for it all of a sudden.
A wall that they are now restarting the construction on because oh my God,
right, I'm not into
securing our
politics.
borders is a good idea.
Trump's an asshole and Biden can't talk or walk. So I don't know what the answer is. Get politicians out of the office is my answer.
Yeah.
Completely get rid of the president altogether, have Capitol Hill, and have a governor for every damn state, and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
I don't see why. One man calling the whole shots for the most powerful country in the world, arguably, is, well, definitely are until somebody proves different. We're bullies.
Yeah.
We stick our nose in every damn thing. Before the Vietnam War come along, before Nixon lied to us all on TV. So, yeah.
Vietnam War was another really significant thing that I think changed a lot of people's mindsets as far as our leadership. Um, the also the line that he said about the flag and the Liberty Bell. This is another thing that's really uh, pertinent today. Is just a lack of respect or love for one's own country. Obviously, every country has got its flaws, but I think here in America, there's a reason
I,
why. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that I watched a couple of documentaries and talked to some people in other countries, and the way we, as America news, portrays other countries, they're really not nearly as bad as they're portrayed. And a lot of them have great systems in place now for rehabilitation for prisoners, for the drug problems are eradicated in a lot of these countries because they stopped criminalizing it. And they put free clinics out there to get help. So it's like a kid, you just slap on the wrist every time, tell them they can't do it. They're going to want to do it even more. Also, when these countries are asked, Michael Moore did a good documentary, Where to Invade Next. And Michael Moore's been criticized for a lot, but I liked all of his Super Size Me, Bowling for Columbine, and Where to Invade Next. He's kind of a jerk, smart ass, but anyway, they were asked, where did you? Their prisons, like the they ride bicycles and they're not even really locked up, and like this is maximum security. It's like Sweden or somewhere, and they're like, where did you get all these ideas from? From your Constitution. That's how we hold it. Your Constitution is what we go by to make things better. Like we hide from slavery, we hide from killing the natives, all of this, but yet a country like Germany that is so bad, they embrace that and they go to concentration camps still. They didn't tear them down, and they take their kids on field trips to these places, and there's a plaque at every damn house where Jews were drug out of them with the names of the dead Jews, where you see it every day. Because if you forget about history, you're bound to repeat it.
Yeah, those who forget it, those who don't remember history are doomed to repeat it. Um, but like for instance, just working in this, I guess what you would call unskilled labor, customer service most of my life. Work with a lot of people from a lot of different countries, Mexico, Russia, Africa. Uh, Never once run into an immigrant that didn't speak glowingly of their experience here. So I do remember as a gentleman at Walmart. He was from somewhere, it was West Africa somewhere, had that amazing West African accent. He's like, yeah, I love it here, man, because everybody works so hard. And I just looked at him, and I wasn't trying to be rude. I was looking at him, I was like, you ain't been here long, have you? But he just smiled. I was like, no, it's good. So,
Yeah,
again,
I got along with all the Spanish people when I worked at IHOP, but they definitely outworked all of us. I mean, none of us, or even the hardest working white person in there, didn't even hold a candle. I mean, they are very hardworking people, man. They definitely are. But as far as the singing goes, just, his breath, he uses a lot of breath, and his consonants are great. He sings through them, and there is bravado in there. I noticed that the best. I mean, he does really good at using his breath within. Like Hank doesn't do that, for instance. I mean, Merle has got a different singing style than most of them. Now Johnny Cash is, I think, way more spoken than any of them.
yeah.
But it's cool. He's like really good at it. So I like.
Yeah, it's just
I don't know,
the
it's
tone
just
of his
different.
voice and his charisma. Yeah, I think the interesting thing about this, reason why I asked how old he was when he did this, is because between how he varies the weight in his sound and his use of breath, and just like you said, the vibrato that comes in every now and then, he does a really good job sounding older than I think he is, or he was at the time that he was doing that. And by that, I simply mean he sounds like he has a life behind him. That is a voice from a man that has lived a great deal. And the reason why that matters is when he's talking about these things that are gone, about being uncertain about the future. He's singing it from a very wizened perspective, which is a really cool aspect of the song. In addition to the fact that the arrangement is it's beautiful. It's one of those, it's very soothing, albeit maybe a little bit of a dark way, but there's that, again, that glimmer of hope that's there in his voice as well. So, again, it's a song that, as we've demonstrated, the more you dive into, it will just open up and have all these avenues for one to explore. Looking up the
Sorry,
age.
I'm looking up the year. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just very curious.
it's got 21 million views. $1982.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he wasn't old at all.
I was 8. Oh,
Oh
but
shit! I switched the tabs, didn't I? Damn.
did you? I think there we go.
I got it.
Yeah. All right, but let's finish this off and give some parting thoughts.
And a Chevy would still last 10 years like they should. Is the best of the free life behind us now? Are the good times really over for good? Stop rolling down the hill like a snowball headed for hell. Stand up for the flag and let's all ring the Liberty Bell. Let's make a Ford and a Chevy that'll still last 10 years like they should. Best of the free life is still yet to come. The good times ain't over for good.
Yeah, I love that. I love that the song essentially has a character arc. There's all that uncertainty in the beginning, and then at the end, the hope wins out. He says, "No, it's the best isn't done yet. The good times aren't over for good, but we have to make it happen." I love that. Even like his voice took on a different tone. It was warmer, a bit more space in the sound. Almost again, I'm using terms that make him sound old, but it sounded very fatherly, um, very comforting. Yeah, this is a great song. This is a kind of subtle storytelling, um, rooted in humanity, that makes this kind of old school country, outlaw country, whatever you want to call it. It's what makes it so engaging. And that is a song that I think anyone can relate to. Especially like,
I agree with your storytelling preference. I would say this song in particular, being one of my favorite songs in the world, is more of a story of life song than storytelling. Because it's literally about life in America anyway. So, and that is really cool there. You got Hank, you got Waylon. And by the way, David Allen Coe did time in prison too. I was a little off on that. You got Hank, you got Waylon, you got Conway, you got Hank, you got Sturgill, you got Merle, you got Casey Chambers, and you got more Hank.
yep.
So,
Hank is the king. But no, I can see why this is one of your favorite songs. It's amazing. It's great atmosphere, fantastic message, and again, I think this is something that while it's got its story, but you can apply this to anything. Like even like at the end of a relationship, you think, okay, is that the best my life was going to get?
or the country music industry.
That as well, that as well. So yeah, it's essentially a song about hope winning out over uncertainty, and again, calling out those that would try to keep us mired in uncertainty and keep hope from us. So, yeah, Merle, my hat goes off to you, my friend. This is an amazing bit. Uh, Thank you, Danny. I'm loving this journey down the highway of outlaw country in that silver bus. It's That's really amazing.
So,
This one's going on the playlist.
the Silver Eagle, yes, sir. All right, so jump out of here.
Need to get a hat like Merle's got in that one picture right there, that big white one. Also Conway's hair.
I'm trying to see what song that is. This ain't like Watch Together. It won't. Anyway, we need to shut up, man. This reaction's been on forever. So I might do the
I need to put the editing shears.
karaoke separate.
Okay.
Hell, this is 33 minutes, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
This is as long as any of our reactions. But
Well,
I mean,
think,
it's an important song to me. I mean,
yeah. I know, like, the lyrics are so poignant and so, like, you can apply them to so many things. I think it's impossible to not. I mean, you could probably trim some of our, like, long conversation in the middle there, but it's a song that makes you have those conversations, though, and I think that's cool.
some reactors don't. Sorry. You said the conversation, and it kind of got me.
Yeah.
Gary Goodman. Gary Goodman's got me some really good Hank that I haven't even heard. So,
Oh, sweet.
the air that I breathe, that is very fitting for me. So,
Yeah.
as I need my oxygen now. So, I'm going to get that O2. Stand up for my flag and ring the Liberty Bell. I'm going to put in the description or the end screen here. It's going to be a link to a reaction to. Long story short, it's called the national anthem as you've never heard it before.
Ah, sweet.
It's a Christian preacher who tells the story of our national anthem, and it has been fact checked to be wrong, but they're just nitpicking, and it's one of the most proudest reactions I've ever had.
It's really good. Also, I think you brought this up in the reaction. Who's fact checking the fact checkers?
I don't think I did in this one, but I did in that one, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
So I'm getting tired of fact checking because I wasn't there, and neither were the damn fact checkers.
exactly. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, peace out. Mental health is real. Time is a virtue.
I
And
didn't realize that.
the good times ain't really over for good. See how I put time in there? Peace out, OGT.
OGL.